I stood at the foot of the hospital bed, holding my mother's cold hand, the warmth already gone, as if death had been waiting for me to let go. Her chest rose with effort, fragile, each breath a whispered fight against time. Her final words, faint but deliberate, were meant for me. She waited. She always waited. For me to show up, to rise, to be seen. I had called my wife. I had begged her. Just come. I whispered, my voice breaking. She sighed, didn't even glance away from her laptop. Take an Uber. I'm busy. That was the moment my mother died. And something else inside me shattered too, something quieter, deeper. A trust. A belief. We had been married 10 years. Built a life side by side. Or so I thought. I handled the structure, the foundation. She polished the surface and smiled at clients. We called it tech consulting. We climbed from a tiny apartment with peeling paint to a high-rise penthouse in Buckhead. We were admired, envied. But somewhere along the way, she forgot the man who had built the ground beneath her heels. I saw it in the way she rolled her eyes when I spoke. The way my name vanished from her lips. The way her phone became her true companion. Always there, always buzzing, always guarded. Meanwhile, my mother, the only person who never once questioned me, never once stopped believing, was fading. Cancer doesn't wait for the right time. It arrives like a thief, takes what it wants, and leaves the rest in pieces. But my wife, she found time to wait, to pretend, to pull away. She started working late again. The first time, I believed her. The second time, I watched. The third time, I followed. A silver Audi pulled into the underground garage of a boutique hotel. I waited across the street, headlights off, engine humming softly. Then I saw her. She stepped out laughing, her heels striking the concrete like she was 25 again. Hair tossed, perfume lingering in the air. But it wasn't for me. He stepped out too, tall, younger, the smug finance type who thinks cufflinks and a tan make him immortal. I didn't flinch. I took a picture. Then I drove home. Silent. Because this was more than betrayal. More than adultery. This was strategic, a dismantling of everything I had built. I checked our financial records. Hidden transfers. Side accounts. Passwords stored conveniently in her browser autofill. Sloppy. She wasn't just having an affair. She was draining our company. Bleeding it slow. Quiet. Setting up her exit while pretending to still be mine. She thought grief had made me blind. She mistook my silence for weakness. But I had been watching for months. Not reacting. Planning. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. I studied her. I waited. First, I built a mirror of our business's cloud storage. I copied every invoice, every bank statement, every whisper of undeclared income rerouted into accounts she thought I'd never find. Then I traced hotel reservations. Phone records. I recorded her voice, laughing on a call saying, "He doesn't even know what's coming." She didn't. But I did. Months earlier, I had convinced her to let me file a document, a small tax maneuver to protect assets. She didn't read it. She just signed. It restructured our LLC, gave me 70% control. I hired a forensic accountant, a corporate divorce attorney. Both signed NDAs. Both were worth every dollar. The day my mother died, I said nothing. I went home. My wife didn't ask about the funeral. She was on a Zoom call. I stood in the doorway for a moment. She waved me off like I was interrupting a manicure. "Babe, not now." So I walked away and started the clock. 2 weeks later, she left for a conference in Miami. I let her believe in her escape fantasy, gave her time to relax into her betrayal. While she was gone, I made my move. Divorce papers, filed, stamped, legal. Her name, removed from all business accounts. The side account she'd been using, frozen. The Tesla she adored, repossessed and sold. Locks changed. Security code, updated. Building management, notified. She no longer lived there. Then the final stroke, her home office. I cleaned it out. Left only one thing. A manila envelope. Inside it, a copy of the divorce papers. The LLC restructuring she signed without reading. Screenshots of the affair. Bank records. A flash drive labeled insurance. She came home that Thursday. I waited in my truck across the street, engine running. Her stilettos clicked across the stone path like the night outside the hotel. She typed in the door code. It failed. Again. And again. She buzzed. I didn't answer. Her phone rang. It stopped. She circled to the back. Locked. Tried the basement door. Deadbolt secured. Then she saw it. The envelope, sitting on the glass table of the patio. She froze. I watched as her lips shaped my name. No longer in control, no longer amused, but in panic. She opened the envelope with shaking hands. Read. And read. And kept reading. I wish I could say I smiled. But I didn't. Because this wasn't about happiness. It was about balance. I drove away before she could see me. The silence in my new condo is heavy. But it isn't empty. My business is mine again. Leaner. Smarter. Ruthless when needed. My mother's photo sits by the window. Sometimes I look at it and hear her voice as if she never left. She would have said, "You did right. You stayed calm." People think revenge is rage. Explosions. Screaming. But they're wrong. Revenge, true revenge, isn't loud. It's quiet. Calculated. Precise.